Oh, the weather outside is frightful.
But inside so delightful.
It's Christmas in July.
Let's review.
Let's review.
Let's review.
Bum.
Bum. Yes, yes. Happy holidays, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
And welcome to the second day of Christmas in July. Oh, what a joyous occasion it is, Blue Dragon 5. Isn't your heart just filled with holiday cheer? Aren't you just overwhelmed by the happiness and festivities around you? You know, the weather outside, it's all snowy and cold, and it's certainly not hot or summertime at all. It's just a good time.
Yeah.
Oh God. So Christmas in July, for those of you who don't know, it's going to be our daily series on the So You Want to Be an Imagineer YouTube channel that lasts all the way through July and tackles a Christmas special every day. Most of them will be TV specials. There might be certain occasions where we'll get other things to look at, but for the most part, we're kind of looking at TV specials. And for a lot of our selections, they're kind of ones that you wouldn't really think to get Christmas specials, or at least like Christmas doesn't jump out right away when you think of a franchise. And I think our selection for day 2 kind of exemplifies that. Wouldn't you say, Blue Dragon 5?
I would say so, yes, Tiki.
So you want to tell us what we're reviewing tonight?
Yes, I would. Today, folks, we're discussing a Christmas special that's near and dear to my heart. I know I love watching it around the holidays when I can. I got it on DVD. Love watching it. It's Happy Days. It's the Happy Days special from season 2, the first Christmas special, episode 11. Guess who's coming? Guess who's coming to Christmas?
I guess it's the Fonz. That's my best guess. I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
You'd be correct in that. Yes, the Fonz joins the Cunninghams for Christmas. The boys on a road getting there. That's what the episode's about.
Right. Yeah, really good one. Really good one. You know, it's actually funny because I watched the latter Happy Days Christmas special coming on, and it's one where Fonzie got a coat from his dearly departed father. And he's like, hey, look at me, I got a coat. I got a coat from my dad. So that's what this coat's all about, but now it's a little irrelevant for the discussion, but whatever. We'll roll with it.
Hey!
Hey! Yeah, so I haven't really had much experience with Happy Days. I watched it with my parents on Nick at Night on occasion, so I certainly know, like, the basics, but yeah, I haven't watched it in years, so this was kind of the shock to my system jumping into this, but it was great. It was great.
Oh yeah.
So
Happy Days is a great show overall. Just it's great until it's not, even when it gets after it jumps the shark, quite literally. After it jumps the shark, it's still not bad. It's not as good as the previous He's just going down in quality, just in terms of it's just they're limping forward with what little cast they have left. It's kind of like CSI right now, pretty much.
Actually, the comparison I was kind of making in my head, just watching the 2 episodes I watched today, was this show was totally what That 70s Show was trying to do in the 70s with the 50s.
Yeah, well, bear in mind, this one did it first. Yeah, this...
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, holy crap, like, this has a lot of resemblances to That 70s Show because it was made in the 70s. It was harkening back to a decade that was 20 years ago at that point. And it's just kind of got a lot of sort of vaguely stereotyped characters. You know, you got the nice kid and Ron Howard. You got the, of course, you got the Fonz. I don't know the rest of the characters all that well, but
okay, you got Ralph Mouth and Potsy who appear in this special. They're Richie's friends. The jokey ones are Ralph Mouth and Potsy's.
Okay.
Potsy doesn't get into his usual shtick, but he's like the other one that invites Fonzie to his home.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Right.
Yeah, they're all good characters on that show. I highly recommend Happy Days anyone checking it out. But mainly the first 4 seasons are probably the best, and essentially just up until the point Richie leaves, that's pretty much the show at its best.
It was pretty much like the Eric Foreman departure for That 70s Show.
Pretty much. But I mean, they still had some good stuff, but then they kept losing people. Then Ralph Mouth left at some point, so they kind of
Right.
The Fonz always stayed there. I'll get into this during the thing. Basically, Fonz's popularity started to spike in season 2 because he appeared very little in season 1.
Yeah, I remember hearing something about that. That's interesting.
Because essentially, the first, as I mentioned with Potsy, essentially the show was about Richie and Potsy, but then it kind of evolved to Richie and Fonzie.
And yeah, that was a really good move because it brought us episodes like this, and I'm sure a bunch of classic romantic episodes of Richie and Fonzie in the future. So.
Oh yeah, and then also a lot of spin-offs came from Happy Days too, such as Mork and Mindy and Joni Loves Chachi.
Jody Loves Chachi, yeah. That's all that.
Because I love Mork and Mindy, that's just me.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so not much to explain Happy Days. You either know it or you don't, and gosh darn it, you gotta check out Happy Days. It's classic. It's Americana.
Pretty much.
I mean, the 50s were awesome, and this show like exemplifies the best parts of the 50s.
Yeah, it's essentially like Back to the Future without all the time travel gimmicks. It's just
essentially it's
an awesome streamlined version of the 50s.
Yeah, it's an extended version of the 50s portions of Back to the Future, pretty much.
Right, pretty much, yeah. Hit the nail right over the head there.
Okay.
Oh, good. So you want to go in and kind of recap the episode for us?
Sure. Okay, so we see, it's Christmas in Milwaukee. That's where it's set, by the way. So it's Christmas in Milwaukee. We see Mr. C, Mr. Cunningham, named Mr. C, lovingly enough. Same with Mrs. Cunningham, Mrs. C, by the Fonz.
Hey, Mrs. C, what's going on?
Yeah. Which, by the way, Fonzie didn't start that. That was Potsy. Potsy started the nickname.
But Potsy did start the A. That's always been a Fonz thing.
Yeah, that's always been Fonz. Again, the Fonz wonderfully played by Henry Winkler. Everyone knows it. Anyway, so
of course.
It's Christmas in Milwaukee. Mr. C kind of states at the beginning of the episode while they're all getting decked out for the holidays. And putting the tree up. You're starting to get the tree up. They're basically at the breakfast table. They're talking. And basically, Mr. C makes a statement that's going to be the whole crux of the episode, saying he just wants a nice, quiet Christmas Eve. No parties, like a huge amount of family, just the core family members. No friends, no. just keeping it with the family. Just keep it a nice, quiet Christmas. And we can't blame him for that. It's keeping it nice and quiet. You don't have to worry about having a huge bash usually for Christmas Eve or stuff.
Right.
Nice and quiet. Basically planning on doing the classic stuff. Roasting the marshmallows, the popcorn, and the and reading the night before Christmas.
I really like how that comes into play at the end.
Oh yeah. Anyway, so like Joey's just making jokes. Basically we see kind of the dynamic of all these characters. Basically, the father, Mr. C, one of the best TV fathers ever, and what did you think of Mr. C?
I definitely really liked his character. I mean, for the limited time I saw of him, he definitely does play a good role in the episode. Is kind of one of the big focal points. In a way, the whole episode, like, let's say every one of these Christmas specials needs to have a Scrooge-type character.
Yes, and I make a joke about that.
Yeah, indeed. So, Mr. C is definitely the Scrooge-type character, much like Helga was in Arnold's Christmas, who gets completely transformed by the end of the special. So,
but neither are bad characters by any stretch. They're just,
of course not. Of course not.
They're just caught up in the holidays, and they kind of forgot what the thing's all about.
It's kind of like with Mr. C. It's like he's just all he wants is a nice, quiet evening with the family, and that's understandable.
Exactly.
So, no, but I really enjoyed him, and the performance and everything definitely made me want to kind of check out more of the show. He was definitely a highlight for me.
Yeah. It's a shame Tom Bosley isn't around anymore. He was wonderful. He was wonderful as Mr. C.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it fits with the thing you love about Mr. C most. He's like the most understanding TV daily. Yeah, he gets caught in his ways. He has his shtick here and there, but overall, he's not like a blowhard or anything. He's the most understanding guy. There'll be many scenes.
He's not a Red Foreman.
Yeah, like his main thing at the end of the day, he'll just be the one who's he'll be the parent. He was the best parent ever to advertise on TV because he would talk to the kids and he'd say. He'd be the most understanding. He'll be caught up in the thing, but then he actually talks to the kids and he straightens out. He'll be the rational one talking to them, So that was one of the big appeals of him. He got a great banner between him, and Joni, his daughter, and then his wife, played by Marion Ross, Mrs. C again. She's always making the barbs at him, basically saying, "There you go, Scrooge."
Yeah, not very subtle, but whatever. It's Christmas, so.
Well, and that's their banter, though. It's like she'll make a joke when she's not really any malice behind it, just making a fun joke, and that we all love Marianne Ross. Who actually voices SpongeBob's grandma, by the way, in case you're curious.
Oh, okay, nice. I can totally hear it back. Yeah,
they've all done acting and acting after this.
I've seen an interview with her. I think it was in that voice acting documentary you were telling me about. Where it's like,
yes.
I have such a large body of work, and I never thought in a million years that the thing I'd be known for would be being SpongeBob SquarePants' grandma.
So anyway, of course, the ever-lovable Ron Howard is Richie Cunningham.
Oh, Ron Howard! He tears it up in this show. He's really good.
Yeah, he was a good moral center, and he originally he was the main character. They kind of turned over the Fonzie, but still.
Yeah, Fonzie kind of like ate up the franchise gradually, bit by bit.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you definitely need Richie in there. He's that moral center. I mean, it's kind of a weird comparison, but like a Batman-Superman dynamic. If Fonzie's the Batman, then Richie's Superman.
So you wouldn't call Richie Robin and Fonzie Batman?
Yeah, well, I'm saying Richie is more of a prominent role, and
all right, fair enough.
It's more like I'm talking like an opposites dynamic here. Not a dynamic duo.
I hear you in terms of like, if we're gonna go really into it, like in terms of just like moral philosophy and whatnot between the two characters,
Just one's the epitome of cool, one's the epitome of being a straight edge guy, like.
Right.
Anyway, so let's see. Oh, by the way, I should mention this now. Later on we have this really we have a meta gag, so the tree's up, and like saying, "Ooh, put the tinsel on the tree," and we see the other Cunningham child, and they got a story about this guy. Chuck.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing about Chuck. Now, I'm sure everyone, all Happy Days fans know about this, but you notice Chuck doesn't get much screen time, and overall in the entire series, which spans about, I'm just guessing here because I don't have them all on DVD, never released them all on DVD, like 9 seasons, I presume. I presume like 8 to 9 seasons of Happy Days, or potentially 10. I'm not sure. Anyway, through all those seasons, Chuck has basically an appearance of like about 5 episodes tops.
Is Chuck the character from the sitcom that literally, like, his first appearance, he dribbled a basketball up into his room? Okay,
yes.
Okay.
See, that's basically, technically, I wanted to say he has 3 appearances, but I'm saying 5 just to be safe.
Right. All right, okay, so that's interesting.
And there's 2 actors that played Chuck. Is the first one that was dribbling the basketball, had much redder hair. And basically, the gag is among the actors, and like they mentioned, it's like in the reunion, especially years later, that he went upstairs and he dribbled the basketball and went upstairs. He didn't come down until this reunion special.
And the reunion special, did they literally have him come downstairs dribbling the basketball? Oh, that's...
Well, not downstairs, but both of them walked on stage and said, "They're my boys." Wonderful Marianne Ross. And the thing is, Chuck, the reason Chuck doesn't appear much is it's simple reasons. Like, you have enough characters, the service on Happy Days with their stories, or they're just having their characters appear. And again, with Fonzie's rising popularity, I guess there's even less time to fit in Chuck here and there. I mean, Chuck's appearance is pretty much the most Chuck's ever been in an episode was an episode where Richie moved in with his brother, who's presumably at college because he was in his own apartment somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's the rationale for why Chuck never showed up, really. And it was with the second actor,
doing college things.
And it's with the second actor who appears in this special. So he came back. This guy. So basically, the meta joke is like Mr. C will usually comment on this. Mr. C mentions it here. He says, "Oh, Chuck, there you are." when he first appears, that's why he says, "Oh, hello, Chuck."
Right. Yeah, I did notice, like, I totally caught on right away that that must be a character that doesn't appear very often because, he seems very surprised to see him.
It warms my heart for some reason, just seeing Tom Bosley's comment on it. It's such a fatherly thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
When I think Ultimate Father, TV Father, I kind of think Tom Bosley as Mr. C. And anyway, so basically says, "Oh, hey, Chuck, here you are." And basically his laundry got caught in the tree. He says, "Oh, not decorating, it just got caught in the tree." Anyway, so back to the plot. So they mention that the Santa Claus outside, it's malfunctioned. It's a 50s like electronic Santa Claus.
And it's terrifying. It is straight up terrifying. Holy crap, I would not want that thing in my front yard.
It is funny, though.
Oh, yes, oh, yeah.
Essentially, it's like one of those animatronic Santas that you put in the yard as a decoration. Basically, he's like moving his arm, holding a gift. Like, kind of like saying, welcome, welcome, all, pretty much. Not saying it, but implying it with the movement. Then, basically, he's on the fritz, like he's moving super fast. And he's on the fritz, and then he's on the fritz, so the Cunningham men go outside, and they're attending to it. Richie and Howard, they're working on the thing. Basically, then Howard like works something on the back or something, and it's like moving super speed, and it's basically the gift in its hand. It's like pummeling Richie on the head with the thing. He says, "Dad,
poor Ron Howard, man, he gets abused in this show."
They stop it, turn the thing off, and then basically then Chuck comes by in a funny moment. Again, a rare moment with Chuck. He comes by and says, "Oh yeah, that's really funny. Can you give me a hand, Chuck? Oh, that's really funny." And this is just the complete improv, but it's hilarious. There's an accident on set. Just the thing slipped out of the thing's hand, hit Chuck in the face. So funny.
Oh wow.
Anyway, they say, "What does it look like, Marion?" It says, "It looks like Santa Claus is mugging you."
And yes, that it does.
It's like you're being mugged by Santa Claus. It's really funny.
In a modern day sitcom, they probably say something like, "It looks like Santa Claus is gang banging you."
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the world we live in now.
Yes, that is the world we live in.
Anyway, so then we come back again. I love how they're showing us like the '50s lifestyle pieces. You know, like holiday. It's a classic holiday special, but set in the '50s.
Yeah, definitely.
So we see in Arnold's. Arnold's is the eatery they go to, fast food place. They go to Arnold's, and we see, and they're using the old mistletoe trick. The old mistletoe trick. You know, the waitress, the attractive girl and/or waitress comes by, you hang the mistletoe over there. Oh, you're on the mistletoe kiss. Boom. Richie tries it, no luck, because he's our lovable Richie.
Yes, and he's just awkward as hell. Way to go, Ron Howard.
Well, give him props. It was the '50s, and he's the only guy who's not completely girl crazy.
Oh yes.
No, he's girl crazy, but he's the one who reins it in the most appropriately because he's been raised by good folks.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I mean, he's the most responsible guy there. Point is, it doesn't work out for him. And then who enters? Who else? But our big show stealing character here, the Fonz. Hey, holiday.
Hey.
Yeah. Anyway, so the Fonz comes in. He's giving out gifts because we find out the Fonz, he loves the holidays. He's a big giver around the holidays. You know, he's big on Christmas. Christmas is cool. Hey.
Christmas is rad, yo. Hey. Okay, I know what you'd say, yo.
I think it's more Jesse Pinkman territory. Oh, what if Jesse Pinkman's like the Fonz of the Breaking Bad universe?
Okay, well that's another video. Video.
Right. Okay. Anyway, sorry. So the Fonz is giving out gifts, a lot of holiday love, and it's the funny gag. He gives like the waitress the same gift that all the waitresses the same gift.
Yeah.
Marsha is the one that's in the opening. The opening title has Marsha in there. She's like the one who always gets pranked and stuff because she's just prankable.
Oh, okay.
Marsha, and she gets like the older one that makes Cindy a sundae.
Right.
Basically, she says, "Oh, beneath that, all that leather is a heart. After all," it says, "Read this, Richie. You're the Ginchiest." Then the other one comes there and says, "You're the Ginchiest."
Oh, Fonz, you have such a way with words.
Oh yeah.
That I do. Yeah. He's like so proud of himself. He's just like,
the Fonz is full of self-love, and how can you not like a guy like that? You know? The Fonz has an instant charm about him, but that's we could go on for hours of how cool the Fonz is, because he literally is the epitome of cool. But anyway, so it's around the holidays. He's giving his buddies gifts, and he's sitting down with them for the holidays. And she brings like a son. "Oh, you made this yourself?" I love how genuine he sells these lines. At Henry Winkler. Yeah, the Fonz really appreciates the fact, especially around the holidays. He appreciates the fact this waitress went out of her way to give him like a sundae.
Yeah, he does. It could just be like, "Oh, well, thanks for the sundae, waitress. All right, I'm gonna eat it now." You know, but instead he's just like, "Oh, wow, you made this with your hands and stuff. And you put all the ingredients just for me. That's real thoughtful and stuff."
Yeah. I don't think he's Travolta, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. I just realized I was flipping into Travolta. Oh my.
Who? Boo. Anyway.
All right.
Okay, anyway, so Fonzie, he's in the Christmas spirit. They're saying, "Oh, Fonzie, didn't you get that in the Christmas?" Oh, I love the holidays, man. Anyway, then basically he just gave him gifts, and they're saying Potsy says, "Oh, I didn't get you anything, Fonz." Ralph says, "Me neither." He says, "Well, listen, Fonz, make it up to you. Why don't you come to my house for some nice turkey for Christmas? Nice Christmas turkey." He says, "No, I'd like thanks, but no, I gotta going to Waukesha. Going to my cousin's place in Waukesha. It's this huge place.
Yeah, he's like
Great
hyping it up.
decorations. Yeah, he's hyping up Waukesha, which I assume is like 25 miles out of Milwaukee."
Right. It's about like maybe for me, it's probably like from here to Santa Rosa or something like that. From here to wine country.
Yeah. So the point is, like, again, it's a nice little gesture on Potsy's part. You know, Potsy's usually played for laughs, and he's kind of the dumbest member of the group, but he's a nice guy, though. Also,
I
he's
really
a really
must find out more about these side characters.
And by the way, Potsy in the show, you're gonna see he sings a lot, and he's a really good singer. And actually, in real life, he became a producer too. He was a singer in real life and a producer.
Oh, okay, nice.
So Anson Williams, good guy. Anyway, so yeah, him and Ralph now they're in holiday spirit, and like in Ralph's things, usually he's kind of cowardly. He's like, "Oh no, Fonz, yeah, you're full of Christmas spirit, Fonz."
Yeah.
He's the jokester. He's the one who does all the comedy. Like he wants to be a comedian or something.
Right, but then when Fonz gets all up in him, he's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
no, you're right."
And the thing is, actually, he introduced Richie to Fonz too.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
Technically, Ralph was closest to Fonz before Fonz met Richie. Technically.
Interesting.
Anyway, so a lot of people forget that.
Yeah.
But, so anyway, so Potsy has a very nice gesture. I really like this moment. He basically says, "Hey, why don't you come to my house for some turkey as a way of thank you for the gift?" And he says, "No, I'm going to Waukesha." And basically, yeah, as you said, Fonzie's hyping this place up called Waukesha.
Oh yeah.
Says like it's this big glamorous place.
So lots of like you just would not believe the food there. Am I still doing Travolta?
Well, it's ship sailed. Anyway, so the point is, like, Fonzie's going in there, wishes pals a happy holiday, and he's on his way, and again the Ginchi a skag. Anyway, so now we're at another funny scene. We're at the hardware store, and by the way, we don't really see these people that often, so it's not a recurring thing with the hardware store people. In case you're curious.
Okay.
So we're at the hardware store around the holidays, and they put the clothes on. They're all drinking eggnog, just give like a toast for the holidays before going home.
Right.
Part of like the annual Christmas party, I guess, at the hardware store.
Yeah, much like in the Hey Arnold Christmas special when the Bureau of Information is partying it up with the eggnog, except for the one person, but that's another special.
Right. I was thinking more like the Borders just gathering around for the holidays, but yeah.
Right, yeah. Okay.
Anyway, so you got some fun gags that like Buzz being the guy who gets really he's really susceptible to alcohol. His tongue gets numb.
Yeah,
maybe next year.
That's wonderful.
I always liked the fact that Mr. Cunningham owned a hardware store. It was a simple thing, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so basically they're just saying it's a cute little scene just to say, okay, people do this around the holidays. Okay, yay. Okay, meanwhile, the reason we're at the hardware store is because we need them out of the house for something because their car breaks down.
Right.
Love the 50s cars, by the way. I always love that. So the car breaks down. Why does this car always break down during the holidays and Sundays and holidays?
Is it because you need a cheap plot device to move your holiday stories?
Yes. So apparently Richie put a call into Fonzie, and Fonzie works at a garage. You know, surprise.
Oh.
It's been established. He works at a garage. He's a mechanic.
Right, sure.
So they go to the garage, and Fonzie will see him around the holidays, you know, before he leaves to Waukesha.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so Fonzie, he fixes it, and like there's a really nice scene here. Basically, he fixes the car, and like Mr. C says, "Okay, how much do I owe you, Fonzie?" He says, "Hey, don't worry about it, Mr. C." He says, "No, how much do I owe you? Please, it's my gift to you."
Yeah, Fonzie, he's really all about being selfless around Christmas time. It's really it's a pretty powerful message. I mean, for a character like that.
Again, Fonzie's a giver, and there's a story. Yeah, it fits in thematically what we're doing here. He's a giver, at Fonzie. He's cool, to put in one word that fits.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway, so basically sends him off for the holidays, and they're really insisting on, well, at least let me basically say, because Fonzie missed his bus to go to Waukesha because they kept him out to fix the car, and basically says, "Oh, Fonzie, you missed your bus. Well, look, why don't we hey, Dad, why don't we give him a ride to walk? She's only like 25 miles. What do you think? Basically, said, no, thanks, but no, I don't want to put you guys out. And essentially, he's sorry. He's
doing everything he can to just get him out of there.
He's basically brushing off the company and the help to get there.
Right,
So he's just brushing him off, just trying to get him out there. Then he kind of snaps him a little, basically says, look, I just did a little job for you, okay? Don't make a federal case out of it. He says, okay, Fonzie, don't get excited.
Mm-hmm.
And they're leaving, but I love this moment here. This is like a Fonzie moment. Especially Fonz had all the respect in the world for Mr. C, and they do show that in the series. I always love that dynamic.
Sure,
sure. Mr. C and Fonzie scenes are always some of the funniest scenes, but again, there's a lot of respect there between the two of them. So he goes there and he says, Mr. C, look, I appreciate what you're doing. I don't need a ride or anything. He says, I understand, Fonzie. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Nice scene. Then they're leaving, they're about to they'll leave as Fonzie closes the garage door. The little door opens in beneath the giant thing you close. And so Richie says, "Oh yeah, I forgot to give Fonzie his present." Well, go give it to him. And Richie goes, "I love how this shot is framed. It's the most beautiful frame shot in the episode."
It really is. I'd say this is probably the most heart-wrenching moment of the whole episode.
Then we find out here. It's a really nice reveal. So Richie opens that door within the giant door. And we see, so well framed, Fonzie, and they're playing the old style Christmas music.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing the Christmas music, and we see Fonzie just alone. And again, I should mention this. Mr. C offered this. Well, look, why don't we take it and get some donuts while you wait for your next bus? We'll sit around and eat coffee and donuts while you're waiting for your next bus. No, they're gonna have a huge spread over there, a lot of food. I don't want
right.
Gonna make an excuse. So we find out that we see poor old Fonzie all alone. He's purled up next to this little hot plate with a can of ravioli, and some bread, making a sandwich with a little Christmas card right in front of him, put in there. It's really humble, and it's so sad. Fonzie doesn't have anyone to spend the holidays with, and he's been lying to everybody so they don't feel bad for him. Yeah, and it's really sad. Richie, his pal Richie sees this and he feels bad. Then he gets into the car, and he's about to bring it up to his father, and his father's all jazzed up, saying, "Well, Richie, this is going to be the best Christmas ever. Just you, me, and the family."
I like how it freeze frames on Mr. C, and he's just
yeah.
And then Richie's just
yeah. So that was a powerful way to end the first act, pretty much.
Yeah, I really love, like you said, just the framing on it and everything. It was really kind of heartbreaking in a way. I mean, just
we all love the Fonz. We want good things for the Fonz.
And I'm one of those people, who I spend most of my time by myself, so I can totally relate to something like that, where it's you don't want people to worry about you, because really you're just, what can I say? I'm not really a social butterfly, but at the same time, so I don't know. It hit home to me.
I love how real they play it, though. We see Fonzie, he's not making a big case out of things. He's how it's played so genuine that he's trying not to have suspicion on the fact that he's spending the holidays alone, but he's still doing these nice things for people. It's a real life thing. People have a lot of sadness behind them, and they just mask it so well like that sometimes.
Right.
Anyway, so let's see. So now we're back at the Cunninghams' house. We have Mrs. C. She's some of her classic wit with Howard. Making jokes and so on and so forth. Then you get a lot of the Xmas. We have the Christmas cliche of putting the lights on the tree, and some of them aren't lighting, and basically going through the ringer about that.
Right. Oh God.
Yeah, your classic Christmas stuff. They were just pretty much getting that. Yeah, Mrs. C makes some jokes at how she makes some jokes. I can't recall what the jokes were right now, but do you remember anything she says in this scene? Or?
Oh, yeah, not off the top of my head, no.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway, so basically the classic holiday stuff, and Richie's feeling a little down, and he's feeling guilty about Fonz. He feels bad for Fonz, and like you're saying, Howard says, "Well, Richie, what's wrong? You've been all gloomy since we left Fonzie's." He's been all gloomy since we got back.
Yeah.
What's wrong? He says, "No, I feel bad about Fonzie." He says, "What is it? What's wrong?" He says, "No, Dad, I don't know." I love how Ron Howard sells this line too. By the way, it's it's epitomized Richie Cunningham's here. He's the guy who's going to tell you the truth, even though he brings you that truth no matter what. That's what you got to love about Richie Cunningham. He's a Clark Kent if you ever saw one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he says, "Well, Dad, I'm not sure, but I'm convinced that Fonzie's lying at Waukesha and he's spending the Christmas alone.
Hmm.
I saw him." Yeah. Then he says this line like, and Mrs. C's like, "Oh no, that's terrible." And then, "Oh no, it's terrible." And Mrs. C says, "Are you sure?" He says, "What kind of Christmas is it when they're sitting alone with a can of ravioli, Dad?" He says, "Oh, poor Fonzie," says Mrs. C, or poor Arthur.
Oh, yeah.
I love how she calls him by his first name, too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
The only character that does that. Anyway, so then basically Mrs. C and the gang, Mrs. C, Joni, and, well, Chuck, not so much, but Chuck, too.
Yeah, he's in there. He's
fiddling with the tree. Well, he gives a look.
Right.
The point is, Joni says, "Oh, poor Fonzie. Well, we could have him over, can't we?" He says, "No, we'll want a family Christmas, don't we? Come on, let's go on the happy Christmas cheer. You know, jingle bells, and then basically all silence." And
Yeah,
said,
that was like a
Christmas?
really weak attempt. Like, it's like he knows everyone in the house is depressed, but he's just like, "All right, jingle bells, come on, it's your favorite song."
But it's a funny thing. Howard Cunningham, again, he'll like some of the best TV dudes. He'll be in that mode that he's in, but then he'll realize it and he'll make a joke out of it.
Right,
That's
right.
the best thing. He'll say, we'll do all the classic Christmas stuff we do. Like roasting marshmallows, lighting a tree, and picking up Fonzie.
And picking up Fonzie. Let's go.
Yeah, and that's
really
great.
good timing.
I think Mrs. Sealy hands him the coat and stuff. It's a nice moment. So now, like, the family's got him on board, so he's going to have Fonzie over. He's practically family anyway, so they're going to have him over.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, for God's sakes, it's like you're kind of blurring the line between the definition of family. You know what I mean? It's like Fonzie
To be fair, Fonzie hasn't gotten as close to them at this point like he does later on in the series, so he's still pretty much just a friend at this point.
Okay.
To be fair, I'm just saying to be fair, because he hasn't moved in yet.
Okay.
Later on, he literally moves into the house later.
Okay.
Anyway, so let's see. I was trying to come on.
So they're at Fonzie's house.
Right. So yeah, they go to Fonzie's apartment, and I love the preamble of Mr. C and Richie. They're basically talking about their plan there. And says, "Well, I don't know, Dad. What if he gets embarrassed?" He says, "Well, look, Richard, we drove all the way here to bring Fonzie. We drove all the way here in that snow to bring Fonzie here. So we might as well do it.
Yeah.
Might as well give it a shot." Says, "Okay, I'll come up with something." Knocks on the door, and I love this. We hear music playing, and then it stops. And Fonzie's trying to pretend that he's not home. "Fonz, I heard the music. I know you're home." Then I love the implied movement here. Like Fonzie, he's in a rush. He's in a rush to grab an empty suitcase.
Oh God.
Grab an empty suitcase and leave like he's in a hurry. You can tell he's all sweaty from rushing around in there. He's trying to make it look like he's in a hurry. So he's leaving. So, oh, you guys just caught me as I'm about to leave. Says, "No, Fonzie, can we come in for a moment?" Says, "Okay, 2 minutes." Then he puts the bag down. I love this little moment here. It's a really good moment for Mr. C.
Yeah,
Mr. C
yeah.
grabs the bag, and Fonzie quickly tries to grab it from him and says, "I travel light." He's trying to ration out why the bag's light, because it's just an empty suitcase.
Yeah, that's a really good little detail I noticed for sure.
That's the first thing Mr. C getting an inkling to. Oh man, Fonzie really is alone during the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, so then they're in Fonzie's apartment. Pretty much he's caught alone at the apartment, and it's sorry. So basically, then like Richie tries to invite him to the house first. He's pretty direct, and he says, "Well, hey Fonzie, we were wondering why not skip Waukesha, and we were wondering if you wouldn't mind like skipping Waukesha and coming to our house for the holidays. We got a nice tree and everything. We'd like you to see it." And Fonzie says, "Oh, I can't pass up Waukesha. It's great over there."
Yeah.
Then something along those lines, and they got a Waukesha. Then Howard says the real reason. Is the real reason? Okay, Fonzie, well, we're a little embarrassed by this, but the real reason is that we have a Santa Claus, and he's gone haywire, and he's mugging. He's like mugging the mailman. So we're wondering if it'd be too inconvenient for you to come by and fix him before you go to Waukesha.
I love the look that Fonzie gives when Mr. C's like, "I was wondering if it'd be too inconvenient," because he's just like, "I can help do something."
Oh yeah.
He's like a puppy, you know what I mean? It's adorable.
Which, by the way, I love how Fonzie sits in the chair like a cool guy. He has like one leg over the chair. That's so 50s cool.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so like, yeah, Fonz is like he's very expressive with the eyes usually in that show. It's really good. And anyway, so like, and I love how Mr. C just delights me every time I see him on that show because he has this great delivery where he says like, well, you know, you can't just have we can't have Christmas without a Santa Claus. And he gives like this great smile. And you know, Christmas isn't Christmas without that Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, I think before that, Richie said, "I have a gift for you. I forgot to give you your gift." And he puts it on a tree. And at some point, I forget where in the conversation, but at some point they said, mention the tree. You know, we got this great tree. I have to see it. Just, I got a tree. I love how Fonzie delivers this line. It's so silly. He's like a puppy here in this scene. He says, "I got a tree." And I love how Mr. C delivers. Like, there's no laughter behind it. I love how there's no laughter behind this scene.
Yeah, right.
It's like you see it and you feel really sad about it, but it's like it's a sweet moment. Mr. C says, "That's a nice tree, Fonzie." Thanks. That's a great moment. Then in the end, basically they convinced him with the Santa Claus, and he's on the way, and he puts the gift. He has like the gift in his hand when he leaves. He has the gift when he puts the gift on the table. He leaves, but then he comes back in and he like pushes the gift a little closer to the tree.
I thought he was just gonna grab it and just open it like in the car or something, but no. I really love that.
Fonzie's waiting for Christmas Day.
That was one of my favorite details in the whole episode. I think that it just really this whole episode just goes to show you how thoughtful the character can be.
And I like the little motion. I don't know how intentional it is. I'm pretty sure it's intentional. That Henry Winkler is Fonzie gives a smile on his way out, like, yeah, I put the present next to the tree. Yeah.
Yeah, I get a present.
Or like, you know, like, yeah, it looks nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, so they leave, and now we're back at the Cunningham household. Chuck's still fiddling with the tree, like he's going through with a bulb in his hand.
And that's his one role in the episode, folks. Give him a round of applause.
Meanwhile, Fonzie's outside. Fonzie's outside. He's fiddling with the Santa Claus, and says, "Yeah, it's fixed. It won't be mugging the mailman anymore."
Oh God.
Anyway, so I'm trying to think of what happens. Okay, so yeah. So he fixed the Santa Claus, and basically they're still trying to lure him there. Basically, he has one bus left. He says, "I have to make the 9 o'clock bus." It's getting close to 9 o'clock. Point is, that like Mrs. C says, "Why don't you have some cider, some nice hot cider?" Fonzie, "Okay, half a glass. I gotta go." Then basically Chuck kind of lures him in there, not intentionally, but it's like, "I cannot light this thing." He says, "Okay, well, what's Christmas without some lights?" "Okay, let me see. You ever think the bulb in your hand might be the one that's making all the bulbs bad?" Says, "Oh, well,
I like how
it crossed
Chuck
my mind."
saved the day unintentionally. It's perfect.
Well, I mean, it crossed my mind. No, it didn't. It didn't cross his mind at all. Then the Fonz says, "Okay, what's Christmas without a tree that lights up?" And then he says, "I'll fix this, then I have to go." And by the time he finishes fixing it, oh, I love the line too, Fonzie. Fonzie has this great line. He says, "How do people make it through Thanksgiving?" Anyway, so after Fonzie's fixed it, he's missed his bus by now, and I love Mr. C's plan here. Mr. C's like he's the ultimate TV dad. Because he's playing things smart. Mr. C's a smart guy. Because they're all saying, "Oh, you missed your bus. You missed your bus." Fonzie basically says, "You missed your bus, Fonzie. Why don't you stay for Christmas?" It says, they're all saying, "Why don't you stay for the holidays?" And then Mr. C says, like, "Oh, look, Fonzie, I'll drive you." And they're all saying, "Hey, come on, Fonzie stays. If he wants to go. Come on, Fonzie, we'll hit the car." And then he says, "Oh, Mr. C, it's snowing outside. You don't want to get your car stuck in snow or anything, do you?" It's a nice moment because Mr. C knows, he doesn't want to impart a burden on that to going nowhere.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Good old Mr. C. And then there's even this magical moment here. You got this great magical moment. So like now they're by the fire. They're doing like what he mentioned earlier. The chestnuts, the marshmallows, and the popcorn by the fire. And Mr. C's there. And basically, Fonzie goes over to help him out or something. Goes over there next to Mr. C, like kneeling down to him, and says, "Hey, Mr. C." I forget exactly what he says, but he says,
I think he says, "I know you were hip to wherever he was going."
Because I know you're hip to the whole Waukesha thing.
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah.
So thanks. Then Mr. C has a great line. This is great. Mr. C says, "Well, to tell you the truth, Fonz, it was Richie who told me.
Mm.
It was Richie who knew all along." Then, like, Fonz gives a look over the Rich and said, "I love how Fonz, well, this kind of fits into the overall charm of the special. That Fonz isn't directly saying things. He's kind of critiquing them, so he can actually do them. Like he's saying, no, you don't turn it like the idiot. You got to turn it like really well to do the popcorn.
Right, yeah.
Then Richie's coming over the marshmallows, and this is a great moment. It shows you the friendship between these two guys.
Mm.
Like Fonz, is like a gentle, a hit on the arm to get Richie's attention.
Yeah, I love that.
And he says, "That's for having all your freckles in the right place." It's nice. You turn the marshmallows.
Yeah, watch the marshmallows. Come on, don't burn the marshmallow.
Then Joni says, "So, what are you gonna read the night before Christmas?" Mr. C is the master of the confused look because he does this a lot in the series, but he does it right here. Mr. C, like Fonz quickly stops him before he's about to read Night Before Christmas. "Oh, can I read? I mean, I'm a good reader. I like to read."
I love reading poetry.
Yeah. Then so then the Fonz is reading. He's reading genuinely like a kid, but like a 50s.
Oh, it's great.
Kid.
Oh, it's wonderful.
It was the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. How whack is that? Or like how
whack is that?
Or how wild is that? I don't know. I forget what he exactly said. Yeah.
But he's just making colorful, like childlike commentary.
Yeah, and then, like Mr. C is giving the reaction, funny stuff. Oh, by the way, a moment I forgot to mention. There was a really nice moment. I love how Mr. C, she insisted that Arthur stay.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Basically, right after Mr. C said, "Well, I can, if he wants to go, he wants to go." Then, like Fonz said, "No, I don't want you to get your car stuck in your." It's all right, it's fine. Then Mr. C says, she doesn't say Arthur this time. She says, "Fonzie, you're staying here. That's it."
Nice that she uses his his nickname.
Yeah.
Cool moment.
Usually, she always calls him Arthur. Usually, and it says, no one's really talked to me like that since my mother. Except for you. It's a nice moment.
Wonderful moment. Absolutely.
So then we're basically the kind of artist is out there. Then we come back for like the post break part, the cap or the epilogue, I guess. Mm-hmm. And then basically it's Christmas morning now, or I guess it's Christmas morning. I forget exactly how it worked. It looked like Christmas morning.
It looked like a dinner to me.
I know, it looks like dinner, so I guess they open it. It looks like dinner, but it's lit like morning. It's kind of...
Right, it's odd. Maybe it's brunch? Who knows? Maybe they have Christmas brunch? Did brunch even exist in the 50s?
I'm sure, brunch existed in the 50s.
Okay.
I'm going to... Yeah, I'll say it's Christmas dinner, so I forget what I say. It is dinner. They're about to sit down to Christmas dinner. And apparently they're allowed to open some gifts. So like Joni got like a little few master. She has a little gag with Fonzie saying, "No, there's some Polynesian girls. No, it's just more palm trees. One for the kid. Hey." And Chuck with the basketball, which Joni had a fun gag earlier on. She's like bouncing the ball and says, "Hey Chuck, guess what it is? Hey, easy, you'll break it."
Oh my god! And I just realized that's also a very clever gag with the whole character.
Oh yeah.
It's like the room in the footballs. Holy crap!
Chuck only has. Again, another reason Chuck really didn't appear in the series because they didn't really have much to go with him in terms of characterization. All he did was play basketball, and he was like the oldest son. That's it. That's all they had for him. He's the oldest son. He's not too bright, and he likes basketball. That's about it.
Wow. Good job, writers.
They figure, let's get rid of this kid. Okay, so you want an explanation? Okay, we bring him back one episode when he's in college. That's it.
There we go.
Again, I'm assuming that was college. I know he has his own place. That's all. I assume college. It's been a while since I watched it anyway. So the ending is they're sitting down, they're getting ready to sit down at dinner, or off the table. Then Mrs. C, she says to Howard, "So Howard, do you like to lead us in the prayer and the grace?" He says, actually, I thought one of the Fonz would like to do it. Says, "Oh yeah, sure." And then there's this great moment. It's it's so genuine. It's like a holiday moment right here. Again, Fonz could only deliver this, I think. Deliver this with the gravitas it does have. He simply looks up. They're all in the grace position. Fonzie kind of looks up, and he says, "Hey God, thanks." Then they all eat. Yeah.
Wonderful.
I think they all say amen, then they eat.
Yeah, yeah. Just flawless. That's just a flawless way to end it. Just absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh man. So that was Guess Who's Coming to Christmas, the first Happy Day special.
Oh yeah. Again, the special. What do you think of this special, Biggie?
Oh, I really loved it. Yeah, it's funny though. I kind of do prefer the second Happy Day special, the one involving the Fonz and his father. I think that kind of held even more emotional resonance than this one did. So maybe we'll talk about that one day. But because due to the mix-up, I actually ended up watching that one, and you watched this one. So I got a double dose of Happy Day Christmas cheer in my life tonight. Yeah, awesome. Yeah. But no, in all seriousness, it's very understated. I mean, that's really kind of what caught me by surprise, because with something like Happy Days, it's like, it sounded also like, oh my God, like that sounds corny as hell and I love it. But no, it's like all the emotional moments in this thing very much just come up and hit you. It's like, it's all very subtle. It's just based on acting and, and line delivery and just in the writing in general. I think it's really good. I don't really have much to fault it for.
Oh yeah, it's I love how simple it is. It's a simple premise and simple for the holidays. You got to really deliver.
Sure.
Big time.
Sure.
And essentially, it's like I said earlier, it's just basically Fonzie. The charm of Fonzie, and the charm especially because it comes from Fonzie. He's such a nice guy. He's just a charming, iconic character of the '50s. He can't directly say what he's feeling, or he can't directly come out and say things. It's like a bit of pride, a bit of coolness, just getting in the way of it all. But he just doesn't want to admit. We've all kind of been there. We don't want to admit things a lot.
So absolutely.
So he wants to be. He doesn't want to be a burden, I guess. But again, he's a giver. He gives around the holidays. But again, he loves the holidays. But it's kind of interesting. Kind of have that mysterious back. I love that they don't really explain the background for why he loves Christmas so much. He just loves Christmas. It's simple as that.
Yeah, right, and but again, they don't really give a background into why he wants to be alone on Christmas or why he doesn't have anyone. Everything's just kind of implied and very.
Yeah, I assume that the cousin doesn't exist at all. That's what I assume.
Oh yeah.
But I assume the cousin doesn't exist at all. But there's a chance maybe there is a cousin, but I sincerely doubt it.
I mean, maybe there is a cousin, but it's just like
the Fonzie's family. They've kind of. They have hinted at They've hinted at Fonzie's family at times. Like there's like a. I don't know if it was a cousin, but it was like a nephew. I think. He's like nephew Spike. He has a nephew Spike. I forget what. I don't think Chachi's a cousin. I forget if Chachi's a cousin or another nephew. Maybe Chachi is a cousin. I'm not quite sure. Scott there. I'm not sure exactly how he was related to him, but he's like a cousin or a nephew. And Fonzie does have a grandma who appears not often, but she appeared once. Nice. She's the reason he moves into the Cunningham household.
Okay.
So I mean, she has importance, and they once teased like an episode where he meets his mother. I think they said that she was his mother.
Right.
The point is, like, he got separated from his family regardless, so he's probably living.
And of course, the other Happy Days Christmas special, at least the other one I'm aware of, is very much connected to his father and that whole relationship. So
certainly.
Yeah, so you got a lot of depth for that character for sure. I'm really appreciating it.
Yeah, I like how you don't even need all that. Just the fact that this guy, he's so cool and he's doing nice things around the holidays, and he's alone. It's kind of he's like a bit of tragedy behind the coolness and the leather,
Yeah.
And again, he's like at that point of pride where you don't want to burden others, and you just kind of want to spend time alone, but you don't want to admit that you're less of who you are.
Right, exactly. And like I said, that's something that I can very much relate to on a personal level as someone who.
I think we all can. We all can on some level, definitely. Anyway, the thing that this series, they've always said this. Gary Marshall's always said the guy who created stuff. Gary Marshall, big time famous in his TV works. Again, he did the Odd Couple TV series. He did Laverne and Shirley and the show. And Laverne and Shirley is a big spinoff from this show, by the way, too. That's the huge one.
Sure.
Yeah. So I mean, he's behind all the Happy Days spinoffs pretty much. So he's had a hand in a lot of TV over the years. From what I hear, he's got kind of an ego in Hollywood nowadays, but he did bring us a lot of the great iconic TV that kind of moved best forward with a lot of TV we're getting nowadays.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, but the point is, he always said that what it kind of developed into in the whole course of the show, and the show is it's about the friendship between Fonzie and Richie.
Mm-hmm.
And they really show that in this episode. You know, it's basically these two guys. They don't even interact that much, but you get a sense of that bond here. You know, the lengths of Richie went through all these lengths to get Fonzie into his home for Christmas time.
Yeah, you're right. It's like they don't really have all that much interaction, but the two or three scenes they do get are very heartfelt. So
yeah, I mean, like Richie, he'll do anything for his friends, and Richie's always going to do the right thing. Again, a reason you got to love Richie Cunningham, and he did that. Like what the special's about at its core, and the reason it's such a great special is because it's the simple holiday message that is about, you know, reaching out to those in need during the holidays. That's what he did for his friend. Reached out to someone. He's a nice guy. His best friend around the holidays, and he needed someone. He was alone during the holidays, and he felt like his friend shouldn't be alone eating that of a can of ravioli for the holidays. He should be with his family, pretty much. His best friend, and eventually, as the series goes on, his family.
Right.
So it's a nice.
Sure.
Special.
Well said.
Yeah. I guess that's what makes this special really stand out in the grand scheme of things and the science of things, I suppose.
Oh God. So before we kind of do a wrap up, do you want to kind of tease the specials we're going to cover tomorrow on Christmas in July? I'm sorry.
all right. So correct me if I'm wrong. So we're hitting the Kid on the Moon, right?
Yep. Oh yes.
So Stephanie, we're dipping a toe into the pond of DreamWorks.
Indeed.
And we're going to be covering two specials, if I'm correct.
You are correct.
Again, we're covering two specials, two really great DreamWorks specials. Two of my holiday favorites from DreamWorks. One being kind of related to the series we've been doing, How to Train Your Dragon, Christmas special called The Gift of a Night Fury.
Right, very excited about that one for sure.
And my favorite, I mean, as much as I like Gift of a Night Fury, I think this one's the best one. Kung Fu Panda holiday special.
Okay, so yeah, that should be really fun. We will be doing that, again, tomorrow night. So one episode a night for Christmas in July, and like I said, there might be other videos here and there. It's just a big whole holiday fest here on the So You Want to Be YouTube, Imagine Your YouTube channel. And here, what we're doing, Blue Dragon 5, we really want to just break all these specials down and just see if there's a science behind what makes all these Christmas specials so memorable.
And how are we going to do that, Tiki?
Well, Blue Dragon 5, we're going to do that by putting the mistletoe under the microscope. Next time on Christmas in July.
Fa la 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 la.
Hey!
Hey!